Well, I just wanted to come on today to encourage somebody to let you know that God is still standing behind what He said. It may not look like, amen, He is performing it. It may not look like He's trying to bring you out of this or bring you out of that, but I want to tell you, God is still in your corner because I was young and I used to listen to this radio station, Q97. And there was this commercial about this man named Bill Askew. And Bill Askew was a car dealership, amen, that he stood behind all his cars. And at one of the emphasis of the commercial, that there was this couple that was at this drive-in movie theater. Amen. And the woman looked behind the windshield and saw this man standing behind the car. And she told her fiance, her husband, or her boyfriend, she said unto him, "Hey, baby, there's somebody standing behind the car." And he said, "Oh, that's only Bill." Because Bill stand behind every car that he sells. And I want to tell you, every word that God has spoken, every word that God has spoken, I said every word that God has spoken, He stands behind it. Know why? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth in Genesis chapter 1. And in John chapter 1, it says, in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God, and the word became flesh among us. I want to tell you that word that God has spoken over your life before you were created in your mother's womb, even before your mom and daddy knew each other, even before you existed as a heartbeat in your mother's belly, God had already had a word over your life. So I come to tell you, no matter what it looks like right now, no matter what storm is raging, no matter what situation you're facing, maybe you're in the valley of decisions, maybe you're in a experience where it's uncomfortable, maybe you're in a silent frustration moment, but I come to tell you every word, Lord have mercy, I said every word that God has spoken over your life, it should not come back void. I don't care if it's through your children. I don't care if it's through a spouse. I don't care if it's through your job. I don't care if it's through ministry. I don't care wherever you feeling uncomfortable. I hear God saying, I spoke it over your life. And that I will perform it. Know why? He said, he that has begun a good work in you shall perform it to the day of Jesus Christ. I want to tell you that word that God has spoken, that storm is not going to stop it. I said, whatever God has spoken, that divorce ain't going to stop it. I want to tell you what God has spoken, that sickness is not going to stop it. I want to tell you your bank account, your family situation, your storm that's in your life right now cannot stop the word that's over your life. Be not dismayed, for God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth, that so shall he reap. So I dare you to sow a word over your life right now that God said yes to me. God is going to bring it out of me. God is going to perform it in me. God is going to restore the years. God's going to restore my life into a place where I can overcome anything. I can be the outcome of any situation. I can live and not die and declare of the works of the Lord, because he that has spoken it over my life, he that created me already knew me before I knew myself. He knew where I will be on this day. He knew what will be upon me on this day. He knew what I was going to face on today, and he still has a word over my life. I want to encourage somebody that's watching me win right now, that there is something that is taking place in your life that maybe you can't see it yet. Maybe you don't understand why this and why that and why I am in this place. Why am I dealing with this thing? Why is it so much turmoil? Why is it so much pain in my life? Why am I so frustrated? Why am I going through this confused state? It's all because God is performing. He wants you to get out of yourself. He wants you to get out of your own desires. He wants you to get into the acceptance of the call that's upon your life. He wants you to understand that I started something in you, and you shall not die before it be performed. You shall not die until your assignment is complete. Oh, God, help me. He that's begun a good work, and you shall perform it. I come to encourage somebody today, to let you know you can't die yet. I come to tell you you can't stop now, because there's a word over your life that's pushing you into your destiny. There's a word over your life that's pushing you out of that painful state. There's a word over your life that you can't die in it, because I got to perform a miracle through you. That's why he says signs and wonders shall follow them that believe. And I want you to get to a better understanding in your belief system. I want you to get a better grip of your belief, because faith without works is dead. And I need you to start walking in, start believing, start achieving, start doing something that you never done before. Because when you get in the steps of God, when you get in the move of God, when you get in the presence of God, when you start doing what God has predestined before you were even formed, he predestined your steps. You think you are just doing this by happenstance? You think you're just doing this because you want to? No, it's that word that's been performing. It's a word that's been proceeded out of the mouth of God over your life. So I want to encourage all of you to let you know you ain't gonna die. You shall live and declare the works of the Lord. You ain't gonna die, because if Bill Askew will stand behind his cause, I come to tell you God stands behind every word that he's spoken over your life. That's why Paul and Silas sung praises and gave God praises in a jail cell. That's why the man that was at the gate of Beautiful got up, because Peter and John spoke a word over his life that he went into the temple and started leaping and praising God. I come to tell you, when there is a word over your life, there is nothing you can do to stop it. You may delay it, but it shall not be denied, because every word that God has spoken, it shall be performed. It's not a word that's void. It's not a word that's just out there. It's a word that's going to be performed. So I wanted to come on today to encourage everybody that will watch this. Watch what you see in the next 48 hours. Watch what you see in the next 72 hours. Watch what you see in the next 24 hours. Because God said what I'm getting ready to do is baffle your enemies, your friend, your family, and everybody that's connected to you gonna look at you different. Because the word that I have spoken into creation is being reincarnated through you. Because I want you to know there's a word over your life that you shall live and not die, and declare the works of the Lord. There's a word in you that's going to be working. There's a situation in your life that's working for your good when it don't feel good. There is something that's taking place that you cannot see it yet, because you cannot even fathom in your finite mind what God is trying to do in your life. I want to encourage you and tell you today, if Bill Askew could stand behind his cause with a guarantee, there's a word that's over your life that has a guarantee, and you cannot walk away from it. I don't care how long it takes you to get to it. It will be performed in your life. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged. This has been Apostle Ernest Early, and we love you with the love of Christ. Be blessed. Blessed and be multiplied to you. Bye-bye.